So we had to melt a half a stick of butter, which is 4 tablespoons. You can do it on your own if you want, in a bowl, and crush it and do what you need to do. A pinch of salt, and we have 2 tablespoons of sugar. I already crushed the cookies. Just want to get this mixed up. A half a cup of coconut. So, because I don't want to totally chop up my coconut. I used unsweetened because I think it's going to have enough sugar in it. So we're going to use a small pan. I usually use a deep dish, but I'm going to use a small pan, and then we're going to cook it in the oven for 15 minutes, 350 degrees, and then let it. So while that pie crust is cooling, we're going to make the filling. So we have 5 egg yolks, and we're going to add 5 tablespoons of cornstarch to the egg yolks. 1, 2, about a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to add a quarter of a cup of milk. Actually, I'm going to do a half a cup of milk. We're going to use 3 cups total, but just to loosen that up. I'm also going to add a half a cup of sugar to this after, so let me get that ready. 1/2 a cup of sugar. So we're just going to whisk this together until this is all dissolved. This comes together so quick. I'm going to have to find something to do with the egg whites. I do have some spinach. Maybe I'll take the egg whites and put them together with some spinach and some shallots that I've sauteed, and maybe a couple of eggs, make a little quiche. It snows out, I get the baker's bite. I just want to bake. And I've wanted to make coconut cream pie now for a few days, so. Okay, my dog has got the background music going. So I've got my 2.5 cups of milk in there, and I'm going to put that on the stove to heat. So I had to mute that. My dog just got a little out of control. He's chasing the cat. So I'm just scraping the vanilla beans into the pot, and then when I'm done with them, and I will take the pod and put the pod in my sugar, and that way it'll absorb some of the vanilla flavor into my sugar. So 2-for-1 special with the very expensive vanilla beans. Now we're just going to cook this. And if you want to use your thermometer, it's about 180 to 190 degrees. That's what you're looking for on your thermometer. However, you do have to cook it until it gets a little bit thick. So if you've heated the milk and the milk's already that high, then that's not going to work for you. You're just going to have to feel it. The pudding is going to turn into pudding, and then you're going to add a little over a half a cup of coconut. Now, I love coconut, so I'll be adding. That's how fast it is. The only thing we have to do is let it thicken a little bit, and then put our vanilla in, which is a teaspoon. Now this is where you're going to be standing over the stove constantly whisking, because it can scorch on you in a minute second. So continue to stir and thicken. Now this looks pretty thick, and if you were just going to make coconut pudding, this is where you stop. And if you wanted to take it in a different direction, you could let it cool a bit and then put some sliced bananas in there, and then you have a banana cream all ready for a banana cream pie. So I had to do a voiceover because my dog would not stop barking in the background. So my pudding is just about ready. Now what I'm going to do, well, it is ready. I'm going to put some saran wrap while it's hot right on the top. Saran wrap, plastic wrap, same thing. And this will help it to not form a skin on the top. Now I'm going to let this cool completely. Sometimes I'll let it on the stove, sometimes I'll put it in the fridge. Now we're ready to put it into our cooled pie crust. And doesn't that look delicious? If you love coconut pie, you are going to love this. If you make this, give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Even if you haven't made it yet, you can still give me a thumbs up if you think this looks delicious. I hope you try it though, because it's a great recipe. It's a great Thanksgiving, or my friends made it for a birthday gift. I tasted it and it's delicious. I've got some coconut that I have toasted in the oven. You have to watch this. If you put it on 350, you really have to watch the coconut because it will burn in a nanosecond. That's what I was trying to say before. Now I sprinkle a little bit over top of the pudding before I put the whipped cream on top, because that's how much I love coconut. This whipped cream is just whipped up heavy cream or whipping cream. I've put a little bit of vanilla in it, and I put granulated sugar because I like to crunch on the sugar when I eat this. If you don't like the crunch, then put some 10x confectioner sugar on there and whip it up until it forms peaks, and then you're just gonna slather it all over your pie. And if you can keep yourself from eating the whipped cream doused in coconut, then you're doing good. Which I did. I have to say, I did good. I made this for a test before Thanksgiving, so I would make sure that it was good, and it was really good. So here's the recipe written out so that you can screenshot it. I did that at the end of the video. Pop this in your refrigerator and let it chill before you cut it, because you know it'll be so much better. It looks like I made this in 2020. So yeah, I put those egg whites in the freezer. Here's the recipe, in case I was a little confused. Well, I wasn't confused, but I might have sounded confused because I was doing all the videoing myself. And disclaimer, I'm not an expert. I'm still working on my video skills. And hopefully you see some improvement when you see my videos. But I enjoyed doing this, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And I will see you next week. I have so many more ideas on cooking and cleaning. And remember, this is your life. Make it beautiful. And don't forget, I have a book that I wrote. It's not on cooking and cleaning. It's on my unwanted journey of a mother who lost 2 children. It's called Truth Be Told, A Mother's Raw Grief, and you can get it on Amazon. And I hope you would consider that. Thanks for watching.